Hey guys, how's it going? DUJ2 here, and welcome back to Fortnite Save the World and the Duet. We are going to talk about, work on, and really dive into a deep analysis of this weapon. And I'm going to tell you guys this. First of all, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for being here. Second off, this weapon is very, very interesting. Now, today during my stream, and before that actually too, and last night, I spent a lot of time just playing with this weapon. Just really trying to figure out where is it that I want to take it? Where is it that I want to go with it? Because it is definitely a weapon that at first glance might seem not so good. Now, for me personally, and I'll tell you guys this, I'll be honest, it wasn't until Jericho said in a comment in a video last night that the bullet, the cone shrapnel, the bullet splinter shrapnel into a cone, I hadn't even realized that this had that perk. I wasn't looking at that. And if you guys notice, my duet is still at the exact same stats that we first got it. Haven't leveled him up, haven't done anything with this weapon yet. And of course, comparing this right now, this 130, to my candy corn LMG, of course, I mean, you can't compare them. You can't compare the damage output. You can't compare the type. They are two completely different weapons. Look at the fire rate on the candy corn LMG, 10. Look at the magazine size, 130. Look at the damage. Look at the DPS on this thing, and then compare it to the Duet. And of course, the stats are going to be completely different. The magazine size, the critical, the damage, everything is going to be very different. And even though we might look at the Duet and be like, oh, but its damage is much higher, still, it doesn't have the perks yet for it. Having said all that, if you guys watched my video that I released when I talked about the version 8.51 patch notes, if you watch it when I went into the rant and I'm just playing and using the weapon, I went up against a level 126, I think it was. And I think it was a 4-man mission too. And I was like, I love this weapon. I love the weapon because it is very much a weapon that I enjoy the speed of it. If you guys have watched me play with the Candy Corn LMG, you guys will notice too that I tap a lot. I don't just hold down the mouse and just shoot like crazy. I tap. I try and see how much of damage I'm doing it and not waste any bullets, because I do want to be able to take advantage of those perks that I am using from the hero loadout. And that's going to be a very important thing we're going to talk about in a second. So I love the Duet. I love it. And right now, the way it is, it can't be compared to the Candy Corn LMG. Now, you guys are going to see that after I work on it a little bit, you may be like, whoa, it is comparable. But it's still not, because we're still looking at a fire rate, a magazine size completely different than the Candy Corn LMG. Now, the only other weapon that we can even come close to comparing it to is going to be the typewriter. But even then, the typewriter's rate of fire is so much higher that it's very difficult to do that. And it just doesn't have the same stats that we can. Now, I'm going to compare it. Right now, my typewriter is set for, it's got affliction, of course, damage to afflicted. It's got reload speed, magazine size, and fire rate. It's a very balanced weapon. Now that we're at this point, I need to talk about something very important, and that is the fact that if you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that I majorly dislike fully critical weapons. Making critical weapons is something that I have never really enjoyed doing. I did that with my Candy Corn LMG a long time ago. I put these perks on it a while back, even before the hero loadout, the rework, but I never used it. I didn't use it because it didn't feel to me like it was a decent enough way of playing, and I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy doing I didn't enjoy the crit setups. I enjoy setups that are different. I enjoy fire rate. I really do. I enjoy lots of magazine size. I enjoy that kind of stuff. And it wasn't until after the hero loadout, if you guys have watched it, my critical first shot reel setup, the 555% critical damage. It wasn't until like I came up with this setup, and if you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, 555, the reason why I made the setup was to focus on two weapons, the bundle bus and the tiger. And you can see triple crit. Why? Because the first 6 shots with that setup are going to guarantee the crit of 555%. Yes, if you guys want to watch that video, I'll make it pop up over there. You guys can go check it out, or it'll be at the end of the video or something like that. But yeah, that was a setup that I really enjoyed doing it, and of course it's also with the bundle bus. Now, the bundle bus doesn't have max crit yet. I'm going to be working on that very soon, taking this to full legendary, because I really do enjoy it. But I really only use these 2 weapons when I use this setup, when I use this hero loadout. So very important to note that now the game has gone, I feel personally, it's at a different level. Now, I need to say this because I think it's very important as well. When I play the game, as you guys saw there, what I was saying, I use the bundle bus and the tiger pretty much exclusively when I use that first shot reel setup. Now, it's important to note also that when I play, a lot of you guys, if you've watched me, you may know that this is the setup. Like if I'm using that first shot reel, this is the setup I go in with. Up close, far, and I always have my hammer, which, yes, I need to take it. I need to take it to 130 and work on its perks a little bit, you know, because I do. I mean, it's just, it's getting to the point. I do need to do the movement speeds, take them all to legendary, increase the physical, maybe even make this different, and, you know, change the attack speed or whatever. But I love this weapon. So I always keep the Baron in my first slot pretty much in every single setup for the speed. That way, I don't have to use Dire. I don't have to take up a hero slot for Dire. Next, for this setup, I use the bundle bus and the tiger. If I, for example, I'm going to be doing a ninja setup. If I'm going to be doing a ninja setup, well, I don't have one right now, but I would have a spectral blade, I would have a Masamune, and I would probably have my vacuum tube sword in there. So I would have 3 swords. Why? Because it's a ninja. I enjoy using swords. If I had to use a weapon, it would be my Zap Zap. You guys know I love the Zap Zap. I think the Zap Zap is the greatest weapon in the game. That's just my personal opinion. And let's say if I were going to be using a constructor setup. If I'm using a constructor setup, then it would look like this, you know. If I'm using a farming setup, then it doesn't really matter what I have in the first slot because I'm just running around. So for my personal setups, my Zap Zap is always there. My Zap Zap's always there. And right now that I've been using this new setup, which I know some of you haven't, you guys, some of you may have seen it this morning when I did the when I did that rant video and the patch notes video, crack shot as my lead and this setup like this. But when I do that setup, this is what my setup looks like that, with the Baron for speed, the candy corn LMG, and of course my Zap Zap. Now with this setup, I'm thinking about moving this out of there. I'm thinking about putting these 2 like this. But there's also another weapon we haven't talked about yet, and that weapon is going to be, for that setup, I'm going to be putting matching, or I'm going to be pairing the candy corn LMG with the Mercury LMG. I'm going to be using those 2 in tandem, and yes, I'm going to build the Mercury LMG exactly the same as my candy corn. Yes, the Mercury LMG is going to do much more damage. It's going to be much more powerful in damage output, but the candy corn LMG gives me the healing. So it's in a different category. So me trying to compare the Duet to the candy corn LMG, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. So we're not going to focus on that. And I need to say that because a lot of people were asking, when am I going to compare the 2? And we're not going to compare it. We're going to work on the Duet. We're going to take a look at it, see how it works. And if we need to, we will compare it to the typewriter. Because between those two weapons, I think we can get a good stance of where we are here, especially because the typewriter has the capacity to go to anything as well, and you can build it exactly the same, but it does have that affliction. It does have that affliction, and like I said, the Duet has that shrapnel. It's unfortunate, but it just is how it is. And what I might end up doing is I might end up making maybe the Duet nature, and I might end up making the typewriter water. Something like that, you know. But right now that it's physical, we're going to focus on. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to work on this weapon. So the last thing I want to say about this is, and something that we were talking a lot about today during the stream, was it's very important to understand that I'm going to take all these to rare right now. It's very important to understand that thank you very much, I forgot that I have my notifications on. I apologize for that. So it's very important to understand that my view on the new system, my view on how weapons are now, my view on how I'm not telling you guys how to play the game. You guys play the game any way you want, but the way that I choose to play the game now is focusing on two sides. It's a symbiotic relationship now. It's a cooperation now between two things: the schematics you're going to use and the hero loadout you're going to use. I'm not the type of person who is going to have, and I know a lot of you, a lot of people are, who want a weapon they can use all around. For me, that is my Zap Zap. My Zap Zap is the weapon that I will have in every setup, regardless of what it is. I love the Zap Zap. That is my go-to weapon across the board. But ARs, I'm going to use these ARs with the particular first shot reel setup, and I'm going to be using these other ARs with larger magazine sizes with this new soldier setup that is based on not only an expanded magazine size, but also it's also based on a focus of building, of stacking up, stacking up those things with the crack shot, with Bulletstorm. Is it Bulletstorm Jonesy? I don't think it's Bulletstorm Jonesy. Who's the other guy? Crack shot, and it is Bulletstorm Jonesy. Yeah, with Bulletstorm Jonesy, crack shot, and everyone else, it's about the assault damage and stacking up that damage. After 50 shots, you've got the full 50 stacks on him. 25 shots, you got the full 25 stacks on him, and it's just how the system is based. Now, we're going to talk about perks and that in the future, because I have decided I'm probably going to remove Underdog out of here, but we'll talk about the future. Not right now, it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's and by the way, I'm loving Crackshot because he has shock. Does he have shock? I don't remember if he has. No, he doesn't have shock. I'm loving Crackshot because he has Shockwave. Loving it. It's amazing. I need Shockwave to get myself out of those sticky situations that I get myself into. So anyway, after saying that, that's what I feel. That's the conclusion I've arrived at. That the way that I'm going to be building my setups and the way you guys are going to see in the future, and I know I've already been doing that kind of already, but it wasn't until today that I really understood it, talking with people on streamer there. And Paul Westcott, thank you very much too for helping me figure this out too. It was basically that's what I arrived at. I arrived at the realization that the Zap Zap is my weapon that I use everywhere. Yes, I might throw in the Candy Corn LMG. Yes, after this duet is done, I might throw it in sometimes. But like I just showed you guys in my setups, if I'm going to be going with an explosive constructor, I'm not going to use an AR. I'm going to use a Zap Zap. If I'm going to be farming with my Outlander setup, my farming setup, I'm just going to be running away. I'm going to be running away, and I'm going to have my Zap Zap to help me out of sticky situations, or to help me, fight a little bit. But that's pretty much it. I'm not going to be using these ARs in most situations. Just like I never really use swords unless I'm using a ninja setup. So that is my personal decision for that. Okay, after saying all that, let's go ahead and start working on this duet. I promise we work on it. We're going to work on it. We're going to go test it out. I kind of wish I do still have one, don't I? Because I already leveled it up. Let's see. Do we still have one? Yes. Okay. We have one with the original. So we're going to use this one with the originals, the original perks and everything. And then we're going to work on this one. So right now, I think I'm going to leave this guy here. I'm going to leave it at rare. When I do, I already realized this video is going to take way too long. So in the next video, I will compare the Duet with the typewriter, and I will probably take the Duet up to epic, if not legendary perks. Do I think it's a weapon that deserves that? Well, this is what we're going to test it out right now. We're going to test it out right now. We're going to compare its damage output both to the candy corn, both to the original Duet and the new one we're going to work on. And what we're going to focus this one on is we're going to build it with that setup. We're going to build it with that critical rating, double critical damage setup. And we're going to keep it physical. So these two right here, both of these are going to go to critical damage right here and right there. Now, right now, I really want to take both of these up to legendary. Right now, we're already looking at 305%. Once we take it to legendary, that's going to be another 48%. So we're looking at least a 353%. So 350, let's say it's going to be 50% more damage once we take this up, and the critical rating is also going to go up considerably. I think it will max out at 38%. We're going to leave it at 31 for now, just because we're going to see how it is. I'm really tempted to take these all to legendary, but as you guys know, perk up does not grow on trees. It doesn't grow on trees, so we can't do that. So what we're going to do is that's the new build we have. That's the new build we have. That's the base damage. That's the DPS. And the beautiful thing about this is we can actually test what these numbers are going to be like without ever going into a conflict. So we're going to go into this 128 right now. And what I mean by that is because of the crack shot, because of, and again, this whole setup, this whole concept is built on, like, this weapon, the weapon by itself. If I were to take this weapon, how it's built right now, and use it with my Outlander, that's it. What you see is what you get. Once in a while it will crit. That 300% crit damage will translate to about a 60 something to 70 something damage, 70,000 per hit. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, you know, but that's all it can do. When I use it with this new setup, when I use it using this setup that is designed to build up, depends on the magazine being there, a large magazine, so it can afford to build up the perks or build up the stacks, then we can truly see the full benefit of this weapon. So this is what we're going to do. And the beauty of this is I don't even have to change weapons. I can just build the stacks up with, let's say, my candy corn LMG, and then we can look at the other weapons and see what they're at. So let's go for it. So, I need to get rid of something first. Let's go ahead and drop something really quick. You can drop these guys and drop them there. Okay, so there we go. And let's go ahead and build a new one. So we're going to take these out of here because we're going to have them like this. So we're going to keep my candy corn LMG in the first slot. In the second slot, we're going to keep the original Duet in the first. And there's the new one in the last one. Okay, so right now, without, let's see, let's get up. Let's climb up here. I want to get away from anyone for right now. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so hopefully here we're all alone. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. So right now, if we were to look at these weapons, let's take a look. So in the stats right now, the candy corn LMG is coming in at 11,000 headshot, 8,000 regular damage. I'm wondering where that's coming from. Up there. And 395 critical damage, right? That's what it's looking at right now. The Duet is looking at 22 base damage, headshot, 14,000 regular damage, 305. And the old Duet that I had is coming in at 15,000 with 23 headshot and 125 crit. So if you guys notice, because we did lose that damage and we changed the perks, we are looking at a little bit less, but with the Duet, with this Duet, the old Duet, we had a 125% increase in headshot, in, well, damage in general. So regular damage, that would have been like a 30, maybe a 35,000. Whereas in the new Duet, a 300% takes us a lot. Takes us way up there. That's almost 45,000. So a considerable amount more damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this guy and take a look at this. So right now I have 130, right? We're going to go ahead and we're going to use 25 shots. Do you guys remember what it was saying before? That's the power of the stacks. That's the power of the stacks. And that's only half the stacks. Now let's go ahead and finish this off. So there, right now, we are at max crack shot stats. Candy Corn LMG is finishing up at 18,000 damage, 22 headshot. The new Duet is finishing up at 31,000, 47,000 headshot. And the old one, 3248. We only lost 1,000. We only lost 1,000, but we gained 200% in critical. So once I change this over, check it out. Once I change it over, we're going to lose everything, unfortunately. Yeah. So everything resets. So we have to go ahead and reload all these. This is the good one. Let's see. This is the new one. And that's the old one. So this is the old one. This is the new one. Okay. Let's go ahead and pick up. Oh, perfect. This is, you know what? Let's go ahead and prepare it. So at 108, we need to get up to 55. 58, right? 53. No, 58. So I have to take it down to 58 to be able to enjoy the maximum ones. Okay, there we go. 58. And if we look at it, there it is. 48, 32 for the old one. 47 for the new one. 305%. Let's see if we can crit. Let's see what we can do on this one. Let's start with the little guy, huh? 47 headshot, 50 headshot.
This target's a tricky one. Keep searching.
63 headshot. I'm trying to get away from the other one. Let's see. Let's do this. Hopefully it'll take out the little guys first. There we go. Okay, now we got the Smasher by ourselves. Alright, Smasher. See what you can do. 25, 71, 73, 25, 77, 80. 47, 50. So it looks like we had some 70s in there, didn't we? Oh my goodness. 52, 47, 50, 52. Of course, we are going up against some very high level enemies. 47. Okay, let's go ahead and switch to the other one. Again, we just reset. Let's see what a full clip can do on this one. 22, 30, 30, 30, 28, 22, 33, 41. Wow. Very different with the new one. That 300. Oh my goodness. It's melting him. Ouch. That wasn't nice. I love it. I love it. I'm loving it. That is a great amount of damage. That is beautiful. Now, of course, this setup is more designed for something like the Candy Corn LMG. So let's see if we can't find ourselves. Let's see if we can't find ourselves another fight here. Oh, actually, you know what? I kind of want to try this one here. Oh, that's just ridiculous, man. Okay. That was beautiful. Let's try the Candy Corn LMG against the other one. Let's build up some stacks first. Because we have to compare it. We have to compare this. The sheer fire rate makes all the difference there. The sheer fire rate shreds that so much faster. So yes, in sheer fire rate, definitely. But I gotta tell you, I think that this weapon, as well, hello, goodbye. What do we got? You know what? I'm not really enjoying the stability. Well, of course, because of the setup I'm using as well. The stability is going out the window. Although, you know what? That's not bad. 81. 81 again. 93. 92. 98. Oh my goodness. Can we hit 100? Can we do 100? 51. 100. 100. 100,000. 100,000, guys. So, 100,000 on one. Let's check these DPSs real quick. 95 for the Candy Corn. 145 for the Duet and 141 on the other one. Yeah. Of course, the candy corn is going to do much faster damage, but I got to tell you guys, with this setup, you can see what this weapon can do, and we're just at rare perks. Taking it to legendary perks will take it that damage that much higher. Can I change the rate of fire? You know what? I don't know. I don't know. I'm curious. I'm curious about that. I'm curious if that's something that I would want to do. I would have to lose a crit for it to increase the rate of fire. I don't think it'd be worth it. I personally don't think it'd be worth it. If I were to use this weapon with other setups and other heroes, yes, increasing the rate of fire may be a good setup. But I'm going to be using it just for this setup. And just for this setup, I am counting on that. I'm counting on all of those things coming together to be able to give me that much more damage. And don't forget, also, the reason why my crit is going up as well in this setup is, again, hero loadout. Sledgehammer, 75% increase in assault critical damage. So it's the perfect recipe, guys. If you like to cook, if you like to bake, you just gotta follow the different little things, follow the different ingredients to make yourself a delicious schematic, a delicious weapon. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I know that this video went really long. I will leave some links, down below, or some timestamps so you guys can jump if you want to, jump over my explanation at first. But I really just wanted to really get into this weapon, really analyze it, really talk with you guys about why I'm doing what I'm doing. Yes, I'm going to be using this hero setup for a while. I love it. It's really, really fun. It's really enjoyable. Do I want to switch it around and put Light Show back in there? No, I don't think so, because I'm actually enjoying it. I love Crackshot. Crackshot is hilarious fun. He is tons of fun. Do I want to take this weapon up to Epic and then Legendary? Yes, but in the next one, I will be comparing it to the typewriter. My typewriter right now is built to, to be more for anyone. But again, I'm going to be changing that. I'm going to be making this typewriter a critical setup like this. And yes, I know I said for so long that I didn't like crit, I wasn't going to crit, but you know what? That's what happens. We get an increase in difficulty in the game. You got to do what you got to do to get the numbers. You got to build them like this. Once, hopefully in the future, maybe things can be taken to 6 stars. Maybe our heroes can be taken to 6 stars and our weapons as well. And then we can go back to the multiple rate of fires, multiple magazines, super fast reloads. I love those setups. Like, for me personally, right now, for those of you who don't know, this is one of my favorite setups, my super shredder. It's a never-ending super shredder. If you want to try it out, let me know. Let me know if you guys want to see this. This is a fun one too. But I enjoy fun setups. I enjoy fun different types of builds. But now that we have this level of difficulty, now that we have enemies that go up to 160, 170, you need that. You need to be able to pull out that power, and critical is the only way to go with it. So that's why I'm going to be doing it. But again, when I build a weapon like this, I'm going to be using it with a very particular setup so that I can get the most out of it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. As always, I welcome your questions down below about whatever I did here. If you guys didn't understand something, let me know. I'd be glad to clarify it. And of course, let me know what you guys are doing with yours. How are you using yours? Do you like the weapon? Do you think it's good? You guys just saw there. 100,000 on a single hit. That's pretty good. On a level 128 monster. That's pretty good. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. As always, I am DUJ2. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. And see ya.